Okay, here we are again on 5514 Walzem Road, building number 2, and this is part 2. So let's take a look at this item here. What you have here is you have an expansion joint. You have 2 of these on the rooftop, and they extend from the front of the roof all the way to the back. And what you have is a plasticized type covering here with a scrim that's webbed inside of it. But what happens over time, these particular expansion joints, they dry out and they start cracking, and they only last so long. But as you can see, this is a good indication of what's happening here. It's very brittle, so if it wouldn't take much to put a hole in this. This has already gone through here, and we have that in several areas. We have it also right here. Here, as we keep coming down, it's throughout. They're just throughout as you go down. So it's really starting to give way, and it's time to have this replaced. And what we would do in this case is go ahead and pull it all off, and then fabricate a new 24 gauge sheet metal top. It won't deteriorate like this material here, so it's actually a real good long-term fix for this. And like I said, that you have 2 of these expansion joints, and both of them would be replaced. Okay, let's take a look at a couple other items. One of the major items we have on this roof, and this is the worst case scenario of what we have, is what we call a dog house. This is a sheet metal covering that's tied into the unit here to cover a plenum that is a downdraft into the building. And this has been piecemealed together over the years. And this particular unit is in really bad shape. So we definitely want to address this in our repair work. And when you look at items like this that are open, completely open to moisture intrusion, I don't even know what this ends up leading to or what's underneath this, but it's completely open to the elements. And then as we look at this here, all the sealants and the transitions and so forth, it's just been piecemealed together. So what we're going to want to do is just remove all this sheet metal, fabricate all new sheet metal dog houses, which on some of your units this has been done, and there's a couple newer units that have been installed on the roof, and it's already been done on those as well. So I think there's 2 of these dog houses that we'll want to redo in our repair work. Okay, let's take a look at a couple other things. As you can see, there's more debris on the roof. Again, we're going to remove debris really to help minimize any damage to the roof and or damage down below, or any type of situation where somebody might get hurt with blowing debris off the roof. Okay, the other thing, on this big, what we call China hood, there is a huge opening here for wind-driven rain. So we don't want to block the airflow on this because it's necessary. But what we want to do is we want to fabricate something here that's going to minimize that water being able to get down into that area, because once the water gets into that opening, it drops down right into inside the building. So we have our own sheet metal shop. We can fabricate just about anything. And we would go ahead and fabricate some additional metal to be applied to this China hood as well. And if we find that condition even in a smaller situation, we'll do the same thing. We'll fabricate something to make sure it's more watertight. Okay, let me hop down here. All right, a couple things as we look down here. What we'll do is we'll be looking at all your sealants, at all your pipe flashings. We'll be looking at all your pipe flashings. There are some pipe flashings that you have on this roof that will need to be replaced. This one seems to be in fairly good shape, but we will go through and reseal all the tops of the pipe flashings. This one's been currently done, maybe on a quick repair that we might have come up just done recently, but we would actually apply new sealant to this throughout the rooftop at all pipe flashings. Also, let's take a look at the perimeter edge here. We have an edge metal And then we have the roofing system that comes up to the edge metal here. And over time, on a gravel roof especially, the gravel settles back down away from the edge, and it leaves the asphalt system exposed to the elements, to the UV in particular. And what happens is it starts destroying the surface of the asphalt roofing. The gravel, as it covers an asphalt roof, protects the asphalt roof from the UV. Well, as that washes away, it gets exposed, and that's why you have your fibers, your glass fibers in the membrane exposed, because this membrane is being eaten away and the asphalt along with it. So over time, for us to maintain a roof, this is a transition point, it's a termination point. So we want to make sure we treat all the edging on this perimeter of this roof. So at all areas where we have an edge metal and we have a termination point like that, we will be brushing the gravel back, preparing that surface, and we will add a white acrylic coating to that to protect that exposed area in case that gravel wants to recede back again and open it up to the elements. It won't have the same effect from this time forward. Okay, another item is we look at the base of this unit here. We can see the rotted wood, and that's due to moisture. And these units are creating some moisture on a regular basis. So what we want to do is we want to replace these sleepers, what we call sleepers or runners underneath these units, okay? And we'll replace those with new wood blocking. And so over time, as we maintain the roof year to year, we'll keep an eye on that, and when the time comes, we'll be replacing those in years down the road. But it won't get to a position or a situation like it is now. It's full deterioration, full dry rot, and it's completely falling apart. So we want to make sure these units are staying stable, and they don't have the opportunity to fall over or get out of a level and plumbness. So we want to make sure we're taking care of that. The other thing, and I'm just going to point to it right down here, is you see a conduit, and this is an electrical seal tight or flexible conduit. Now, this is very common on rooftops, and what happens is over time, this conduit hardens by the UV, and it gets brittle, and it cracks, and it leaves your lines exposed. I wanted to let you know this because this is very common throughout your rooftop. This is not something that we replace, but I do want to bring it to your attention because it is actually very, very important that you don't have your exposed electrical lines running from units to the power supply. Okay, so I think that'll do it as far as the basic repairs that we would be doing on this rooftop. Now, along with that, we're going to provide a maintenance plan that will supply basic maintenance items, and that'll include sealants along the walls, at the termination flashings, at the pipe flashings. It'll include sealants at the pitch pans. It'll include debris removal. It'll include small repairs to the field membrane, 6 inches or smaller. If there's a split or a seam that's loose, we'll actually repair that under our maintenance agreement. We will take care of your pipe blocking, any pipe blocking that fails, etc. We'll take care of that. Any transition areas that need any of the acrylic coating touched up or maintained in that way, that'll be taken care of. So it's a responsible plan for you for a long-term extended life for the roof that you have here. Thank you.